Sunday. Welcome back to another week of me suffering through heme. I'm now dreadfully behind and doing my best to catch up this week. So this week is really going to be what my friends called it boot camp mode, where I'm going to go hard because I have so many things to catch up on and learn. A couple of you have asked me to talk about my Anki routine and generally how I keep up with Anki and class lectures and outside resources. First of all, thank you for asking to showcase specific things because it gives my videos a little bit of direction, and it's nice for me to feel like I can help with something specific versus just show my life and I don't know, nothing comes out of it. Second of all, I'm gonna be honest and say I really don't have a great routine, and I have other friends that do an amazing job of keeping up with their Anki, and they have such a dedicated time to do a specific amount of cards, get through a specific amount of videos per day, and everything's laid out in like an Excel doc, and I'm just a lot more scattered than that. I do my best, and it's been working so far, and could it be working better? Probably, but I'm doing the best with what I have. So hopefully I can show a little bit more of that throughout the week, but as a quick overview of how I do it, everything that you see in black and the times are the times of the actual live lectures and what the lectures are on throughout the week. And then these blue ones are the lectures that I rolled over from last week that I didn't finish. I wasn't going to watch any of the live lectures because I was solely going to rely on Pathoma, Boards and Beyond, and Sketchy, but if you saw my last video, I started watching the live lectures as well in an attempt to not miss anything, but I was doing that simultaneously while doing Anki, and I still don't know if I'm really retained anything from watching the recorded lectures. Otherwise, here's my Pathoma for Heme. There's 3 chapters, 4, 5, and 6. Yellows are the ones that I've already watched, and then in red I write the number of Anki cards that are related to each video. Here in red are the number of Anki cards that I did per day. Circled is the final number that I got for the day. So this is literally me today. I only did 65 cards. So as you can see, this week I started picking up and I did closer to 200 cards. Last week, just about 100. The best way to organize videos to watch would have been to count out the days that I have for my heme block, which would have been 3 weeks, and then count out all the videos for Pathoma, Boards and Beyond, Sketchy, whatever I was planning to watch, and then divide that number of videos by the number of days that I have, maybe giving myself a buffer or 2 for practice questions and rest days. But I more so tailored the videos that I was watching based on how many Anki cards I wanted to do for the day, because I noticed that if I do over 600 cards, I'm really starting to burn out and not retain all those cards at the very end. That's why I've been keeping the new Anki cards sub 200, because I have around 400 cards coming back that are old. Honestly, it works great for my brain because I'm not as tired, but it doesn't work as great for my schedule because that's why I'm behind. The thing that I do strive to do every day is to finish all the cards that I have for the day, no matter what. I'm literally falling asleep on my phone doing the Anki in bed at 3 in the morning, and I'm still going to finish it because they're just going to roll over or I'm going to have to push them back, and I really don't want to do that. So that is my one goal. But yeah, that is the overview of how I do it. Hopefully the remainder of the week I can walk you guys through how I manage that with going to classes and see what lectures come up and see how many videos and stuff and whatever I can get through, and yeah, show a bit of my routine or lack of routine with that. For now, let's dive back in. I think I have 250 cards left to finish. I got some great advice from a friend who's a year above me in medical school, and she told me to finish all of Sketchy Micro over the summer between my first and second year, and I did it as best as I could, and I got through almost all of Sketchy, and I've been doing those cards ever since, every single day, and so a lot of Micro I pretty much have finished, and it's been amazing so far because every time we've had a Micro lecture, I just go to the first slide and see what bugs are mentioned, and most of the time I have done all of them. I don't have to do them this week because of that. And also these slides are not really well organized, and it's a blessing to not have to go through them and try and learn them that way. What I'm doing right now is I'm going through the lectures from 2 weeks ago and the past week. Right now I'm just doing the micro lectures, and the one from 2 weeks ago I just went through and I had finished all that micro over the summer, so I just make sure there's nothing new in the lecture for me to learn, and otherwise I cross that off, so I'm not even going to watch that lecture. Thing for farm, so I'm not going to use the lecture, so I'm just comparing it to the sketchy farm and highlighting all the sketchy farm videos that I'm going to have to watch. So this is how I decide which lectures I do want to watch and which lectures I'm just going to rely on third-party boards resources for. 2-hour lecture on hematological malignancies and thrombophilias that I think might be useful to actually watch. So I'm gonna watch this at 2 times speed and then do the rest of my Anki cards.
So I usually just kind of shut the door because I don't like looking at it. And you know, this is true of a lot of biological pathways. It's like you king one thing and
Since when did Maine become England? Why is it raining every single day? Just came back from school. We had another case study today, the chief complaint of which I can't even remember anymore. It was acute promyelocytic leukemia that then progressed into DIC. That was our case. After that we had suture clinic and just practiced some suturing for a bit. It was a nice way to kind of forget about everything else and just work on something fun. And then after that we went to OMM lab and we practiced some OMM. We have a big OMM exam tomorrow. It's basically going to be on 2 parts of the body, and we have to inspect and diagnose and then be able to treat, and it's on all the information that we've learned throughout last year and then the beginning of this year. My brain is really slow. I think you can tell by the way I'm talking. Yeah, it took some time to review everything. I still have so much heme to do today. It's hard to like decide what to focus on because I know I'm not at 100% with my OMM. There's definitely more that I could study, but at the same time I don't want to fail this heme exam, and I have so much heme to still do that I need to give this time. You know what I mean? Like, which one do I give more attention to? Anyway, I'm done with OMM for the time being. I'm probably going to review a little bit more about diagnoses right before I go to bed, but for now, fully switching back to heme.
and this red blood cell, in order to maintain the shape, has a cytoskeleton that assists in maintaining the shape. The cytoskeleton is tethered to the cell.
I have 1 video left for red blood cell disorders and 3 videos for white blood cell disorders for pathoma. 144 old cards for today, and then I just unsuspended the cards for the normocytic anemia and extravascular hemolysis video, so I have 78 new cards, and I'm currently at 477 cards for today. I just went through the cancer treatment lecture and added all the sketchy videos that were mentioned for cancer. I now have as many sketchy farm videos to watch as I've had total pathoma videos for heme. It literally never stops raining, and it's raining so loud I can barely hear my video. I looked at my OMM exam schedule for tomorrow and realized that I am actually at 11 a.m. and not 9 a.m., which is amazing because it just hit 3 a.m. I'm done with my Anki cards. I'm done with the new videos for the day, for the night. I'm gonna look over the OMM rubric one more time just to make sure I have everything down. I'm gonna look at some of the diagnoses that I wanted to like review, I guess last minute, like the sacral diagnosis. This is a sacral diagnosis, and no matter how much I study this, I always somehow flip something, so I always end up having to look at it right before the exam. Quads, hamstrings, paraspinals, lats, and then we do the standing flexion test. Back home, it's midnight. I had my OMM assessment this morning. I think I did well for the most part. There are definitely some things that I didn't do as well on and might have to come back to retake, but I did my best. I gave it all the time that I could afford because I really have to focus on Heme. I'm doing the same thing that I've been doing every night for the past 2 weeks. I have 300 Anki cards I think I have left to finish. I only watched one new video today, so I do have to watch a couple more new videos, especially Sketchy Farm. There's like 14 videos that I have to watch, so I'll just be doing that. Same old. So I've been using a lot of boards resources to study for Heme, but there are a lot of in-class lectures that we've had that are not covered by boards materials, at least as far as I know, like pediatric Heme, there's geriatric Heme, we have a 2-hour lecture on surgery, there's a 2-hour lecture on transfusions, there's anemia drugs that I also haven't found in boards resources. So basically, as much as I can, I try not to watch the live lectures because they take a long time, and instead if I could watch a boards video that's like 20 minutes versus a 2-hour lecture and it can summarize everything concisely and make it easier for me to memorize, I will prefer to do that. But there are these lectures that don't fall under the boards resources that I do have to watch live as a recording, so I'm going to attempt to watch this 2-hour pediatric Heme lecture right now, 2 times speed of course, and do my Anki reviews because like I said I have 300 cards, so I'm going to attempt to multitask and hopefully retain both.
Time you're doing these tests, like think about it, you're bringing kids back or you're drawing blood, you want to do it in a very thoughtful, systematic way. You don't, of course you could order all these factor levels at one time, but it's really good to do it in a very thoughtful, meaningful way.
For instance, can be started in order to reduce extension of the clot and minimize the risk of developing continuous infusion, providing ongoing anticoagulation until definitive management or transition to life occurs when your body makes antibodies to heparin complex with platelet factor 4. See our heparin hunter here, enjoying a nice...
Okay, it just hit 3 a.m. I did 180 Anki cards, or new cards, for today total, which means I watched 3 new videos. I have around like 60 old cards to finish, which I'm gonna do as I'm like getting ready for bed and brushing my teeth and stuff like that. I have a mandatory geriatrics lecture at 8 a.m. tomorrow, so I am trying to go to bed a little bit earlier today. I'd say I made good progress today, so I'm happy with that. I'm back from school. It's 2 a.m. I had a pretty long day, mostly just studying at school all day. This morning we had a mandatory geriatrics lecture, which was very engaging and really good. And then after that, I took a practice COMAT for neuro. So basically, if you go to a DO school, you have to take the COMLEX, which is equivalent to the board's Step 1 or USMLE, whatever you want to call it. So COMLEX is for DO students because it also implements OMM into the questions. Eventually I have to take the COMSE, which I have to get a certain score to then be able to sit for the COMLEX. But today I took a COMAT. There's so many random abbreviations, I don't know what the point is. Today I just took a 60 question test on neuro and there was like 1 psych question thrown in there, and I didn't get my score, but I wanted to take it because I've been doing a lot of the Anki since when neuro ended, and so I've been keeping up with some of the information. Obviously I haven't been doing practice questions for neuro, and I haven't been like actively reviewing neuro every day, so I just kind of was curious to see if I was still able to answer the questions, just see where I stood. Of course, when I finished it, I don't know what happened to my score because there's nowhere to be found. It didn't display. I just exited out of the exam and there was nothing to see. So curious to see what I scored. I don't think I did well, but you know, I'd like to at least see a score. So you know, we're pending those results. And then I studied some more, and then I went to the gym, and then I played soccer, and then I studied some more, and now I'm back. I want to do some practice UWorld questions. These questions are going so poorly, I'm literally losing faith in all the studying I've done up to this point. Like, it's like I almost didn't even study or something. I'm going to the hospital today to meet with the endocrine surgeon that's also working on this research project with me. I get so nervous around doctors and, I don't know, I guess specifically surgeons because that's the field that I want to go into, and it feels like I'm talking to a celebrity sometimes. And I think it's just knowing that they know so much more than I do, and the anxiety of them asking me something that I won't have the answer to, or that I'll answer completely wrong. Especially endocrine. Like, I really don't know a lot about endocrine. So what I'm doing is I'm going through my paper again, even though I've probably looked at this paper like 100 times already, and I'm just trying to go through each patient just so I at least have like an idea, so I remember something about their case and whatnot if he asks. But I think the plan is that I meet him first of all, because I've never met him before, go over the poster, maybe how I'm going to present. I'm sure he's got pointers for me. This is really awesome and I'm excited to go. I just am so overwhelmed with heme, and yesterday's questions really didn't go well. It's really like brought me down yesterday. I just didn't feel like studying. I barely finished my Anki cards. I was so tired of everything, and I don't know, I feel like I should be spending all my time on heme, but I have to go do this, but I also want to go do this, and I think it's gonna be fun. Anyway, when I finish reviewing the paper, I'm gonna head over there, and yeah. I'm heading out to school to spend the remaining rest of the day there. I have so much heme to go through. There's stuff that I still haven't seen even the first time around, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Or can I need?
This looks like a daikon. I mean, yeah, no, I don't know. That's not what I meant.
Back from another long day at school today. It's 1:30 in the morning. I would say I'm pretty much done studying for the day. I was kind of just thinking of, because I'm still awake, or I feel awake, trying to get through some other things. I met with one of the doctors working on my research project with me this morning. I didn't get to shadow any surgeries, but that was okay. I had a really good meeting with him. He gave me a lot of tips for the poster presentation that's coming up, and also some things to just brush up on and like fix in the manuscript, so I have some stuff to do there. Also have a couple other like maintenance on the side things apart from school that I can work on for a bit. Then the only other thing today that I had was SGA, and I just studied the rest of the time. I finished all of the pathoma chapters that I had to do. I finished all the Anki associated with it. I finished my like thrombolytic antiplatelet drugs. So I'd say I'm on a good roll, and it was a productive day. Catching up on some administrative stuff right now. Emailed out my poster for someone to look at, going through my emails. I reached out to our school services to help me proofread my research paper and just make it a little bit better. So I'm gonna do all this until 3, so I have like another 30 minutes or so. At 3 is the first review session for I can't even remember what topic, and then at 4 there's another review session. It's a busy day. 1,000 cards yesterday, and 1,100 cards today.
Want to give the potential to that patient that they could make an antibody, an anti-D.
All right, we are 1 review session down, 1 review session to go.
Chemotherapeutic agent that kills off, like an AML, you've got to give strong inductive chemo.
So I just got back from an event that my school hosts every year. It's for a previous student, Deane Stryker, who was a first year at my school, and when she went back home for break, she was studying at her local library when a man walked in and stabbed her to death at the library. And it happened not very long ago, and so the class rallied and they basically set up a way to collect funds for a scholarship in her name, and it's a very nice event. It's basically a wine tasting with a lot of nice food, and the food and the wine gets donated, I think, and it's just a nice way to come together, and apparently that's something she liked to do, was to drink wine and to hang out with her friends. And so it's a way to commemorate her memory and do something nice in her name, and so I went to that event tonight. If you want to read about her story, I can post a link to an article in the description box. And I'm back now. It's time to refocus on heme. I think I have 700 Anki cards still left. I'm very behind on Anki. Granted, I think I did like 300 cards, but still, I'm very behind. There's still videos that I want to watch. I really think I want to watch Sketchy Path because I watched one Sketchy Path video and it was very helpful, and so I think I want to do it for the rest of the like white blood cell disorders and whatnot, but we'll see how much I can get through. I don't know how much of that I retained. My brain is ready to turn off. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to finish all my Anki cards tonight because I don't want them rolling over into tomorrow. Yeah. Also, I don't think I've mentioned yet, I have hit 10,000 learned cards, so I'm at 23%, but 10,000 is my new milestone. YouTube is really speaking to me with this. Gonna go ahead and ruin my night by doing some practice UWorld questions. It's 2 a.m. still working on the cards. My eyes are starting to shut down. I'm basically so tired that I'm starting to fall asleep, but I really want to finish these cards, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm getting so many cards wrong, so I'm going to watch Sketchy Path and then hope that I will remember more and get less cards wrong, so I have less cards to do tomorrow. Good afternoon, it's Saturday. I woke up kind of late today, but I'm gonna jump straight into school. I want to watch the 1.5 hour lecture on blood transfusions, and then while I'm doing that, I'm submitting for a small scholarship, so I just want to work on my personal statement, my CV, while the lecture plays in the background. So yeah, let's get to it. We have a lot to get done today, and I'm having a late start to the day, so jumping right into school.
Joe Smith's label, or there was a problem with the testing of the blood bank, or there was a problem with the testing at the donor center. So these are all preventable. We don't ever want this to happen.
Heading over to school now to spend the rest of the day there, finish some of the little things that I wanted to while I was home. It's a nice gloomy day, perfect for studying. Let's go. Back home, it just hit midnight. I'm feeling a lot better about this today. Did some practice questions that were provided by the school, and they were first order, but they went pretty well, which is great. 400 Anki cards left to review. I was also going to read through the study guide that someone made for this entire exam, and I was going to do some practice UWorld questions, so still awake. I still have some time until when I usually go to bed, so I'm just going to keep studying.
Because he should now get ahead of his teammate Lando Norris when Norris has to come and pit. So I'm here at Birdie.